And welcome back. So it's been a little while since we've done a channel update, so I figured I'd shoot a short video and kind of bring you along for this ProClip install. And this is the mount. If you remember when we did this in the Hellcat, these mounts actually come in two pieces. It comes with a piece that will securely mount somewhere within the vehicle, and then it's got a base unit that you then pick out based on the type of phone or the features that you want. But this particular mount that we're getting ready to install is good on a Dodge Ram 2013 to 2018. So this is a 2016 2500. And just kind of looking over their pictures and their descriptions a little bit ahead of time. Hopefully you can kind of see that there where this clip is going to mount is going to be in this area here. So it's going to have a side fin, you can kind of see that grip that's going to bite there. It's going to bite in behind this piece here, which is, at least on this Ram as well, you've got your normal glove box down here, as you can see, and you got like a little cubby compartment here that you can also open up and stick items into. Not very much storage space, but you can. And so this side piece looks like it's going to clip in and catch the lip of this door, and then the other half of this mount, this side piece here, is going to clip in and grab the side between the trim and this vent. Now, just like when we did the Hellcat, you'll notice they give you some double-sided sticky tape on both this side and this side to help secure this mount in place. Because you can always open that, which will kind of make the mount want to move up unless it secures it, and you're also taking away part of the mounting point that kind of holds this in place without this tape by opening this door. Now, I don't open this much, and I'm not sure if probably most don't, but the reason why I'm not going to unpeel the tape at this time, even though they say to do this, is because two things. One, in a future video, I'm getting ready to change it out for this season, but I did do the modification of this Ram to include a cabin air filter. And it's a pretty quick, pretty easy modification. I'll go over that when I change the filter. But in order to access where the filter is at, what you have to do is, drop the glove box out of the way, get in behind it, pull this plastic shelf out of here. It just clips in place by some clips. You can get behind it and kind of push it out. Once it's out, you have access to the air box, which is behind this, to change the filter. So since I do need to periodically, at least once a year or so, pull this plastic tub out of here to get access to where that filter's at, I don't really want to stick this in place permanently just yet, because it's going to mount here. I'll just do it here quickly. You can kind of see the way that's going to, see that kind of falls in place there, comes around to the other side and will clip in place. Now, kind of what's holding that, at least for the time being, is this door. And what's supposed to hold it is also that double-sided sticky tape that will stick to this side of the dash. Now, so that's one reason why. The other reason is that in a future video, we're going to change out this radio to the much bigger touchscreen that has Android Auto and Apple Play built into the head unit. This head unit doesn't support that. So what will come with the radio is a different trim piece, a different fan assortment. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what, the 5-speed adjustment fan. I believe this gets changed out to a 7-speed adjustment that comes along with a new trim piece. But long-winded way of saying that we're going to need to be able to remove this trim piece in the future and access this box in the future. So it may be a little bit of a pain that we kind of have to, deal with this when we want to change the filter or pull that trim piece, but it's not really that bad to deal with. That's the reason why I don't want to, double-sided sticky it, at least just yet. I'm going to go ahead and get this installed. As you saw earlier, I'll complete the install, and I want to see how well it'll hold this base in place excuse me, sorry, how well it'll hold this base in place without that double-sided sticky tape being undone. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and I'll bring you right back. Thank you much. Okay, and welcome back. Well, I thought about it. I'm going to try to do this and get this in the video so you can kind of see how this sets, rather than doing the install and bringing you back. But remember earlier we were looking at this lip. If I just tilt this forward, get that lip started underneath, and kind of push on it a little bit, you kind of heard it click. So it's falling behind the lip of this, again, kind of, I don't know, storage compartment door, whatever you want to call it, that'll come up. So ultimately you can kind of, let me pull that back out, so you can kind of, again, tilt it forward, put it in an angle, get this lip to start biting in there, roll it forward, push it a little bit, you kind of heard it click, and it gets it ready for you to clip this next piece in. So you can kind of go through that, or you can also just kind of do this, open the door up as you see there, kind of get this mount to where it needs to be, and simply just close the door. That's probably coming up bad. There we go. Hopefully that all got in the shot, so you can kind of see it's just another way of doing the same thing if you've got the ability to open this. I'm not sure if all 2016 or all 2500s with this optional storage space have that ability, or even if this even is storage space in most. But let's go ahead and get this installed, because I'm also running low on camera battery here. So we've got this other lip, again, that's going to fit between the bezel trim and the vent. So I'm just going to pull that forward, and that should, there we go, just kind of clip and fall into place as you saw there. And that's actually fairly secure. I can do a pretty good job of tugging on that, and that's not going to go anywhere. So I actually like that quite a bit. So I like the ability of not being able to necessarily make this a permanent mount by not putting that, uncovering that double-sided sticky tape, which again gives us the ability, if we need to access the storage space behind here, which we will, to change that filter, or if we need to change the bezel piece, which we will, we'll have to take this bezel piece out to change the radio, or do any other maintenance in here, then it's just a matter of opening this door, pulling that forward, and just taking the mount straight out. It makes it for a nice, very easy to remove temporary install. So let me go ahead and, actually, let's do that again. I'm running low on camera battery, but let's go ahead and put that in. We're going to put that in at an angle, get that in underneath, push that forward. There you go. It's now behind it. Come back over here. I'm just going to drag that, pick that up a little bit, drag it over that part of that trim, push it forward, and there we go. It's now locked back in place. Seems fairly nice and secure. Now, obviously, you know, if you're driving along and you got your phone up here and someone opens this door, it may fall out. So, you know, again, just be mindful of that. And I know, and again, I'm acknowledging the fact that I'm not applying that double-sided sticky tape, so it will present an issue. But again, just be mindful that if you're going to do that and you got somebody sitting over here, to not open up this top storage space. You know, chances are there's probably no need for you to open the storage space. You know, if you need storage space, just use the glove box below. But what I'm going to do next is go ahead and get this adjustable base, the actual phone gets held in out of the bag, and I'll show you that real quick. Hold on a minute. And welcome back. So once again, just to show you the mount piece here, and this is the universal mount. Again, this mount, you've got some options when you check out their website based on the type of phone and the features that you want. I like this universal adjustable one, because that way, you know, if you change your phone in the future or upgrade to different, you know, some type of a different communications device, what that might be is that the sides of this will pull in and out. I have to loosen this up, but the sides of this will pull in and out to kind of adjust a little bit better to the phone. So in that second package for this universal mount, what you get is the mount you see here, along with this back piece that'll swivel. You get these 4 mounting screws that's going to attach this back piece to this plate here. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'll bring it back, but there's a screw there in the center of that mount, this one right here, I'm going to undo, and it's going to basically detach the back half of this ball mount and allow us to get this mounted. So I'm going to get this detached. I'm going to mount this back piece to this mounting point here, or this mounting bracket here, and then I'll bring you back. And welcome back. So you can see we've got the back half of that universal mount mounted onto the mounting plate we put on earlier. When you look at this mounting plate, you can see them there. They've got some pre-indented areas, kind of starter holes or pilot holes, so to speak, to get those screws started. So you've got the option, you can either put it up here on these four or drop it down and put it on these four. I just chose for the upper one, just so this phone will sit a bit higher. But that center screw, when you loosen it, this is our mount earlier. This center screw, as you saw when we did this on the Hellcat, it's captive, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. I will say that these screws here they give you in the package, they are tiny. They do not take much. Just kind of tighten these up until you get them snugged in. Right about there. Again, as soon as you feel that they tighten up or they snug up, that's about as far as you want to take it, because they are self-tapping screws, as you saw when they were in the package. So you just don't want to strip one out, I guess is the point that I'm getting to. So what I'm going to do next, again, we're just going to, you can see that there, just tighten this mount back up onto its ball mount. We'll loosen up those center screws, and I'll show you that the ears of this mount can kind of slide in and out, just to kind of better accommodate, you know, whichever phone width that you might have. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you back. And welcome back. So as you can see, we've got our universal mount reattached back to its own backing plate. And if you remember, when we put this in, we didn't use the double-sided tape for a couple of reasons, but even with that tape not being there, you could see that it holds itself well enough that it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. Now, obviously, time will tell when we get the weight of a phone in there and we start going over some less ideal roads, we shall see. But again, I can grab this mount and give it a pretty good tug, and it's not going anywhere. But as we were talking about earlier, if you loosen up that set screw and that set screw, you can pull the ears of this mount out a little bit and kind of adjust your phone width. And then, so what you'd want to do is just drop your phone in there, push in a little bit, kind of cradle it where it's snug, gingerly remove your phone so you don't upset your measurement, and then just tighten your two set screws again. That's why I like the universal mount there, because that way if I change the phone in the future, then there's a pretty good bet I just have to adjust the width of this and I'm good. Now, the website, again, that's for the mount itself, for the bottom mount, and this was for a 2013 to 2018 Dodge Ram 2500. And then the universal mount itself. But again, when you go to their website, this top piece here, the actual phone mount, they do make ones that are phone specific. The only reason why I did not go with that model is that for fear that if I change the phone in the future, even if let's say I have a Samsung phone now and I keep it for a couple of years and I change out to another Samsung, you know, is the width of that phone still going to match that unique mount? That's why I like the universal ones a little bit better. But you know, if you know that the phone you have now and the phone that you're going to have in the future are going to be the same width, and it may not be an issue. But I'm rambling on at this point, but just wanted to show you that. Like I said, I like these mounts. I use them in all my vehicles, my son's vehicles and my wife's vehicle, and they've had no issue with them. So as far as the channel update, real quick, we were bidding on another potential target vehicle via an auction, and unfortunately we won the pre-bid, but we lost the live auction bid. I think it was by about $1,100, so we didn't lose it by much. Sometimes I have free time from work that I can go attend the live bids. Most of the time I cannot. So what I have to do is I have to put my pre-bid in and they'll at least tell me if I won the pre-bid. And what happens is they take my max amount from my pre-bid and they bid on my behalf on the auction during the live auction. So as long as, obviously, as you would think, as long as they don't exceed my max bid and there's no other bidders, then I get it for, whatever the amount was that the auctioneer stopped at, prior to anybody else bidding on it and raising the bid. But like I said, we lost another one, unfortunately, but I've got about a handful of other ones I'm looking at that will be nice, good candidates and give us a lot of tutorial videos, upgrade videos, repair videos. There's a couple of them that look like they may be good rolling chassis, and by that I mean the inside is immaculate, the outside's immaculate, but there's a couple of them that have engine troubles or transmission troubles or even both. So if we end up with one of those, it'll be a scenario where we may have to pull the motor and the transmission, see if it can be repaired. If not, just replace it. If we get one that runs and drives, then it becomes a matter of what upgrades we want to bring to it. So kind of a long-winded way of saying that, don't worry, I know the content's been lacking on the automotive side of this channel. Like I said, I do apologize for it, but it is a process. We've got to find a good candidate to work with. And right now, the best way of getting hold of a potential vehicle in my area, as well as the cost of getting a hold of a potential vehicle in my area, is to kind of go through the auction sites. With the way the used car pricing is right now, trying to go to a dealership and pick up something that could potentially be used as a project vehicle, the costing is just way too high. But that's where it sits. I'll keep you updated as soon as we can obtain one of our target vehicles. I will definitely make a video and show you, but I wanted to put this one out there, albeit even though it was just a simple cell phone holder put out by ProClip installed into our Ram. I wanted to get something out there because it's been a little while since we had some content pushed. I'm getting ready to make another similar update video on the solar side of the house, because I've had some more questions come in about the battery box and some of the decisions we made. So I'll answer those in an appropriate video. But for now, I want to get this out there. I thank you if you stuck around this long to the end of the video, and if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm not going to ask that question at the beginning of the video. I think it's a bit intrusive to do so. It's just my opinion. So I'll save it for the end. If you haven't subscribed, please consider to do so. I know you hear it from a lot of content creators that, they say it helps the channel, and it does. If you like the video, if you make comments on it, it keeps it fresh in the algorithm. If it continues to do well, then Google's algorithm is more likely to pick it up and suggest it on, which again helps the channel to grow. As the channel grows, then we have more and more ability to do more elaborate builds, more elaborate tutorials, more in-depth tutorials. If you've seen my videos, I've had a lot of people tell me that my videos tend to go into a bit of detail. Those are the ones I prefer to make. Yeah, they do take longer to do, and I have no problem with that, but that's currently my style. That's what I like to do. I like to try to, if something needs to be taken apart, then I want to do a good job and show, the major steps needed to take that apart, not just kind of cut to the chase. But the original reason why I'm tying this in is, as the channel grows, then once we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, once we can get monetized and continue to grow the channel, then financially it makes things such as getting a hold of project vehicles and doing the upgrades and the repairs easier to do. But like I said, if you haven't subscribed and you wish to do so, it would be much appreciative. And I'll stop rambling at this point and cut the video. And like I said, I'll keep you updated. Thank you much.